All right, so I'll continue. So I've actually really worked at this, at making contacts and connections. To me, it's very easy. It is very easy, but at the caliber and level that I'm at now, I mean, I got no worries. I got no worries when it comes to making contacts and connections. But here's the thing: when you're out there, it's a different situation. Okay, you're out there. You go out a lot. You go with your friends somewhere. You meet new friends. You start a new job. You meet new people. This can happen. Then you see them on the regular. You might see them once a month, once every 2 months. But in 6 months, you get to see most of your contacts and meet them in person, have lunch with them, or hang out with them at night, or whatever the case is. Right? That does happen. Now, this is the thing that I'm going to explain to you. So, whenever you're incarceration is like, you've committed a crime and you're told that you have to be, you have to do time, basically. That's all it is. You have to do time. Don't get confused when you're talking about Canada. If you think that some places are fruity, I'll tell you right now, check out some of the jails. They can get quite fruity. All right. All right. If you think, in Canada, oh no, this is different. This is not correctional facility, correctional. No, you're totally wrong. You're totally wrong. Go to any kind of official jail or whatever it is, prison or whatever, and go there. You'll see how fruity things get. I was just talking about this before the other day, and I was talking about how they have the most dangerous inmates or whatnot. And you know what they do? They work a deal with them to put them in gardening, for example. Now they're growing roses and lilies and daisies and all that. And I'm serious about that. And they're doing all that, and they do it on purpose because they want to make the dangerous inmates look like daisies, and they work a deal with them. If you do gardening, we'll get you out sooner, kind of thing. I'm not joking about that. I'm very serious. That's how it happens in Canada. At least in the Toronto area, that's how it happens. You know what I mean? So that's the deal. So here's the thing. Now, if you've ever watched a prison movie or a jail movie, you'll understand this right away. Okay? I don't know. For me, the first prison or jail movie that I always think of is Blood In, Blood Out, which is in the mid-90s. Let's get a bit on the background here. So, Blood In, Blood Out is a big prison movie. San Quentin is one of the most notorious prisons in the world. In the world. Okay? It's in California, but it's one of the most one of the most notorious prisons in the world. Now, I'll tell you something about San Quentin. So, there's been these notorious gangs that have been born out of San Quentin prison and have spread out in like international. Okay, that I want you to understand. Now, if you watch Blood In, Blood Out, this is the thing. Okay, so use it as an example. Mikolo Velka. Okay, I think he's using his mother's last name, by the way, which happens in Latin culture sometimes. So Mikolo Velka has a white father who's a horrible, horrible guy, but he has a lot of money, and his mother is he's got a mother somewhere in East LA, and he gets in the beginning of the movie, he gets in a fight with his father, right? He beats him up, and he runs away, and he's on probation apparently. So his dad is like, I'm gonna call your probation officer or whatever. So he runs away to East Los. He I forgot what you call it. He hitchhiking. He hitchhikes his way to East LA. Goes sees his mother. His mother says, I got a check coming in for you because of you, and I don't want to lose that money, so I'm gonna put you in your aunt's house, which is her sister, which is his her son. Her sons are his first cousin. All right, his first cousin. So he goes there, hangs out. Now, they keep giving him shit all the time because he looks very white. He's got colored eyes, he's got blondish hair. They keep giving him shit about being white. And he feels like he needs a bigger card into the gang. Now, their gang is an actual gang, by the way. The Vatos Locos is an actual street gang in East Los and in parts of California. So he wants to get his ink in, right? He gets put the ink in, he wants his VL tattoo, Vato Loco tattoo here. So what happens is one night, these guys are at their mechanic shop, just hanging out, smoking weed, or they bring the car back. It was a customer's ride that they bring back. And they're hanging out in the garage, and then they smell Tres Puntos, who are their rival gang, 3P, right? 3P puntos, 3 points. I don't know much about them. So these guys are tagging in their alley, and they came into their hood, in their barrio, in their hood, to tag their tags. Now, prior to this, in the daytime, earlier in the day, they had seen Tres Puntos tag, so Miklo gave him shit that, how you guys let him get away with that? He goes, man, they're not about you. He goes, man, they are about you. Anyway, that. So at this point, the alpha is a rooster. This guy was an actual boxer, okay? And he's a bit of an alpha. And he starts getting pissed off, you know. Man, these guys are in dead man line and everything. But Miklo is the one who doesn't let up. We gotta do something, man. We gotta do. You know, yeah, we gotta do something. So you're the rooster. You're the big boy now, not me. They go do something. You know what I mean? He's kind of teasing him, and this guy takes it seriously. So he goes and he grabs a metal, like a metal bar, a kind of big crowbar type of thing, and he runs up to the vehicle and he smashes the glass from the back. Right? These guys are pissed, and then they run away. Now, these guys give him his VL tattoo because of that. So they put him into the gang, the street gang, to give him the tattoo, right? There's an issue, the rival gang comes back, they get into an issue, things happen. By the end, he doesn't mean to, but he ends up shooting a guy, the head of the gang, not of the gang, but of that block, whose name is Spider. He kills him. After killing him, he's going to prison, all right? The other guy who's a rooster, who was part of that attack, he didn't actually kill him, but he was part of it. Because he was into the boxing, he had police contacts and stuff. He used to box. A lot of police officers admired his boxing. He was a really, really strong guy, you know, good fighter. So he gets a special deal. And, oh, by the way, his stepfather was in the army and everything. So he gets a special deal to join the Marines. Goes in, becomes a Marine. So later in his life, he becomes a detective. Miklo, however, ends up going to San Quentin prison. And when he goes in, he's a white boy, he's young. He's got a lot of predators around him who want everything from him. You know what I mean? And I've talked about this. He meets a pimp who introduces him and shows him around, shows him the different gangs, black, white, and brown, and all that stuff. Now, Miklo somehow, you know, manages to earn this kind of meeting with the head of a very dangerous gang, which is called what were they called again? La Onda. They call La Onda. Okay. Something to mean my destiny or something like that. I don't know what La Onda means. So he joins, so he meets a guy. The guy tells him, you gotta kill a high profile guy. Like, we're not gonna let you into the gang unless you kill like somebody. This guy's really high profile. He agrees to do it, does it successfully, kills a guy, earns his spot in La Onda. Okay. He starts running a betting scheme, which he's doing very good at. The guy he kills was running a gambling scheme on sports gambling. Starts running the sports gambling scene in San Quentin. He's doing very well. He's actually earning money. Makes a deal with this guy who wants his debts. He has a lot of debts. He goes, listen, I'll erase my debts. Not only will I get you a seat on the council, but when you get out, I'll have an apartment for you. I'll have everything for you. So this guy, he gets parole finally. Miklo gets parole. Goes to this guy, he's like, hey, you got an apartment for me? Didn't work out, man. Sorry about that. So this guy, something got fucked up. He was doing a PCP lab, which got broken up by the rooster, the old rooster, the detective, his cousin, Miklo's cousin, who is now a detective, goes in undercover, breaks up the PCP lab. This guy loses shitloads of money. Now he owes money to this loan shark, who's a dangerous loan shark, and he's scared out of his mind. He's not able to get Miklo his own apartment, but he says, you know what? He makes him a makeshift room in his apartment with like a curtain on the top and everything, and he's got a bed and a curtain. That's it. Miklo is not happy about it. You told him I have an effing apartment for me, man. Hey, just a second, Your Majesty. This is the streets. It's not prison. You know what I mean? So he's got that. He's trying to tell him that you gotta pay for your meals out there and pay for your rent, and you're not gonna have everything you want. This is not prison. You know what I mean? We get meals for you every day. So, you know, so Miklo is not happy. Now, Miklo made quite a name for himself in prison, sorry. When he was doing the gambling, the sports gambling, he's running the sports gambling, making money for the gang, and he earned a spot on the council, all right? Miklo has made connections now. A guy who knew nobody, who was working for his stepdad, who knew nobody, who didn't even know his parents, his mother, anybody, who was getting shit from all the guys in the gang that you know, you shouldn't even join because you look like a white boy. And this guy now has killed somebody high profile, has earned a spot on the Laonda Council, and he's running the sports gambling scene. A guy who went from nothing and nobody to knowing nobody has done all that in prison, which is a big deal. Okay, now I've talked about this. So things for the scene on, there's a robbery that's gonna happen. They're gonna rob an armored car for a lot of cash. It's supposed to be a bit of a setup. And unfortunately, one of the guys who Miklo kicked out of the deal, who was a pimp, he calls in a tip, an anonymous tip to the detective, to the detective's partner, the two of them, the rooster guy, to tell him that, he tells him that there's a coke heist going on, or sorry, a coke deal going on, a big coke deal. These guys get these tips all the time and nothing happens. This time they go there, they see the armored car robbery going on. The rooster, the detective, he sees Miklo. Miklo, I can help you. Give me the gun. Come here. No way, Holmes. You owe me. He means you owe me because he killed that guy, went to prison for him, and this guy got a deal to join the Marines and all that. Now he's a detective. Says, you owe me. So he starts running away. Miklo, don't run. Stop or I'll shoot. Shoots him in the leg. Miklo loses his leg. He's back in prison, doesn't want anything to do with this guy. He hates his cousin right now. He's in prison with a leg injury, with a really bad leg injury. What is he gonna do? So things happen again in prison. So this guy, the head of Laonda, who he got the meeting with originally, and he put him in the gang. The head of Laonda says, I'm gonna put you in the library. You can't even walk properly now. I'm gonna put you in the library, do your shit there. You got an opportunity, man. He puts him in the library. He meets this guy who apparently was in on like 100 keys of marijuana or something crazy, right? Like a shitload of marijuana. He's doing some serious time, and he's working in the law library. He's a smart. He's a smart older white guy. He's a smart guy. So he's working with him, and he's trying to learn from him about everything. So he's telling him, quote unquote, I'm gonna live in this library. Meaning that he's looking for all, and because he's telling him, dude, if you learn your law correctly, you can use loopholes, and that shit will get you out of here. Like that's your only hope. So they're in the law library. He's talking to him a lot. He's running keys and everything. Now, I'm going to start the next video.